Welcome back everyone to Moonstone's campaign. In the previous episode, The Fall, our adventurers began this campaign by falling from the sky in a forest that seems familiar. A spell effect that they cannot fully understand brought them here, and they have lost their memories. The only true clue they have is that on them there was a note saying, "Leave at dawn. I will make sure to secure your escape. Go to the dungeon I discovered, and let's do this. Yours, Goodspell." Now let's begin. So, the adventurers are on the ground. They have probably searched themselves and found the note, and they have three major encounters around them. So it's the orc, the demons, and the path in the east. I will start with the orc because it is a critical NPC for this campaign, and let's hope that your players will not kill it right away and will try to communicate with it. So let's open the journal, and again I will keep some notes while I'm explaining everything to you. So this orc is badly wounded and stands by a tree crying in pain, but at the same time it tries to be quiet. The players will be listening to it after their fall, and probably this will be the first thing they will investigate. Whenever the characters approach and the orc sees them, it will put a huge smile on its face, and clearly it seems happy to see the adventurers and will welcome this encounter. Keep in mind that this orc speaks a rare orcish dialect, and none of the players understands what it says. Even if the characters try to use magic to understand it, the spell effect that brought them here doesn't allow them to comprehend what the orc says. Nevertheless, it is clear that it's super happy to see the players and that it wants their help. Whenever the player characters speak, it will shush them, asking them to be quieter. Now, the weirdest thing about this orc is that it is wearing the official uniform of the Human Kingdom's army. Your players will remember that uniform when they see it. Also, this uniform is clearly designed for its orcish body, so it's not like the orc stole it and is wearing it now. Without any spoiler, the orc knows exactly what is happening here. So thus, it is very scared and acknowledges that at any point demons might attack. It also knows that the path leads to the closest places with civilization. To the south there is Laractus, a town fort, and to the north is Applethorpe, a small village. The problem is that the orc is not 100% sure if these places are safe to go, and if it manages to communicate somehow with the player characters, it will probably bet its money to Laractus since it is a fort. Now, I'm sure your players will try sign language or drawing to communicate with the orc, and it will also do its best. But it will keep saying and worrying about the demons, which calls them kutakta, and how everyone needs to be quiet, and it will keep pointing to the path, saying that it leads to Applethorpe or Laractus, and maybe these are safe choices. All in all, role-playing the orc should sound like this.
Astundum kutakta sumlestim. Afin stoyen tum Applethorpe stumdin holundin Laractus. Asni halstumti. Fundian stumsien fundum kutakta zum the fundum Applethorpe. Sendum rum Laractus.
Okay, so finally, let's note that its name is Bubukap. It will follow their player characters, will never harm them, and will fight bravely at their side. If captured or attacked by the players, it will start begging for its life and warning them again and again about the common enemy, which is the Kutakta. Perfect. We're done with the orc encounter. Let's go to the path now. So, journal, name, the path, and a few notes. So, this path can be seen from where the players fell. From up close, it is clear that this used to be a paved trade road, but now it is completely destroyed. and one can see only mud and tiny pieces of stones everywhere. Whatever or whoever did this managed to do it in the whole length of the road. Whenever your players are on this path, this is what they see. Everything is totally destroyed. So since the player characters have no horses, they will need to walk 2 hours southwards to reach Laractus and 1.5 hours to reach the village of Applethorpe. Alright, now that we know what this path actually looks like, let's fix it a little bit. I will go to the objects, type rocks little or small, and let's learn a mass placement trick. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna add both variations to the ground, and then I will open the mass placement tool, and from here I will select path, because this mode basically helps when you want to create paths. Then I will box select both variations, I will not group them, and by holding Alt I will start placing the rocks all over. I like it. Now let's zoom in and see how it looks. Cool. Now I will add one more note about this path. Let's go to journal, alright, and type this. If the players attempt to do a little bit of tracking on the path, they will find out that 3 hours ago an empty cart dragged by a horse, of course with a rider on it, passed by going to the north, and it returned going south full, so the cart was full on the way back, and in maximum speed, like if something or someone was after it, was chasing it. So probably in the south people live there, people exist there, and they visit Applethorpe village. Okay, now it is time for the demons, or better, as the orc calls them, the Kutakta. Mistia Fulians in Kutakta. Okay. Journal. Title, Kutakta. Alright? And let me keep notes as I explain a few things with no spoilers. So this fight should be an easy fight. So make sure that you keep these demons at 1 hit die, probably with a really bad armor class and stats. I prefer to bring this fight to the players after they meet the orc, so that they will see that the orc is willing to fight on their side, and that it will get the chance to pinpoint to the demons and scream, Kutakta! I like to kill the orc in this fight, and I'm doing this on purpose every time because I find it more dramatic for the players to stay alone after the fight and relive the whole what the fuck is going on here by themselves. But if you want to keep it alive, it doesn't really matter, and it's a cool companion. A small spoiler now. These are chaos demons, and they serve the entity of chaos, which is the main big antagonist, let's say, in the world of Moonstone. The players have no clue about this, but they can understand that these are in fact demons, just not what kind of demons. So these chaos demons have a big flaw. They are entitled to destroy any form of civilization, and thus whenever caught into battle, they have a percentage chance to totally ignore the enemy and start destroying things instead. So for example, a demon could start hitting an arrow into the ground instead of fighting a player, even if the said player is in front of the demon, attacking him and damaging him. The demon will continue destroying the arrow until it is broken into thousands of little pieces. So basically you get an idea of what probably happened to that path over there. So finally, when they die, or better, destroyed, they vanish and they leave no body behind. And this, in the world of Moonstone, means that the portal they used to come to this world is still open, and that they were never destroyed basically. They just returned to their realm, and they can simply come back at some point for as long as this portal is still open. This is a piece of information you should give to your players if they have at least one spellcaster among their ranks. Good! So recap. The players fall from the sky with no memories whatsoever. They have a note from a guy called Goodspell that indicates they escaped prison or whatever, trying to reach a dungeon, before a spell effect broke them here. They met a friendly orc, probably a member of the human army, which is a bit weird. Some demons attacked them, that they prefer to destroy a single arrow instead of the players, and they have to choose between following the path to the north or the south, or they can always choose just to wander around in the forest in other directions. We all know that the players will eventually pick the path to go to Applethorpe or to go to Laractus, and since I've decided to demonstrate this campaign in the order my players decided to do things, I will choose the road to Laractus for now. But do not worry, as we go, every possible choice will be shown here. So we will have an Applethorpe episode, and also I'm gonna put all the encounters in the forest in case your players decide to wander around without choosing to follow the path. So let's head to Laractus. Alright, as you know, I prefer to split my encounters into different tabs. So I will create a new tab from here. I will call it To Laractus. And in this environment, I will create the main encounter your players will deal with as they are trying to reach the small fort of Laractus. Now, as they go southwards, after let's say 30 minutes, the heroes will see a crossroad. They will now have one more option to follow, to pick a smaller path that it seems to go to the east. This path also used to be a road, but it is smaller and narrower, leading into the woods. So let's build that scene. I will keep the same ground, so grounds, and this grass. And now, instead of going all over again, I will show you something amazing that you can do. Bear with me. So I will go to the previous tab. I will click on this part of the forest that we've grouped it, if you remember, and I will click the save button here. So this will make this panel to appear, where I can add every detail I want. So I will name it Forest Modular. I will place it under the general category because you can basically use it in modern and sci-fi games as well. And I will add a tag Moonstone, just to show you that you can add your own tags as well. And then I'm gonna add a small description, let's say a modular forest piece to create your own forests. And then I will take a nice screenshot of it by zooming and clicking here. Good. Now I have two options. Either I can save it to my collection right away, or I can save it and also send it to RPG Stories Workshop so that everyone can subscribe to it and have it into their collection. I will obviously choose the second option. And now it is in my custom object collection here. So let's go back to this tab. I will go to custom objects. I will type forest, and here it is. I have it now as one object to do whatever I want with it. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit and start forming the main path as I place the forest pieces. Good. Let's leave some space here. Nice. I have to admit that I imagine you laughing every time I say the word Laractus instead of Laractus. Laractus. Well, I'm Greek. Anyways. Now, by deleting some trees, I will create the path that leads to the east. So let's get rid of some trees and create a path. Nice. Alright, so in order to recreate the path, the main path and the new smaller path, we're gonna need obviously mud and these little rocks we used before. And add these things everywhere so that we can have like the same path. So I'm gonna do this, and of course, you could build all that to your previous tab, or go and maybe duplicate it and continue building or whatever. This is my own obsession of having different tabs. I like the idea of sweeping between every encounter and not to have to deal with a huge MMO open world. But at the end of the day, you know, this is your call, guys, and it totally depends on your style of DMing and maybe your PC's strength. I hope I'm not doing this very fast for you to keep up, but we will keep adding all the hotkeys I press and several tips on the video. Alright, now that we have the scene ready, here at the crossroad there is a destroyed sign. So let's add that sign. We need something that looks old and crude. So I will go to structure, where basically we have all structures, buildings and modular pieces for you to create anything you like manually. I will type wood and okay, I like this one, and I will place it here. So this sign used to have 3 names on it. One for the north saying Applethorpe, one for the south for Laractus Fort, and one that leads to the east saying Laractus Sanctuary. And since this is something your players are actually able to see, you can add a quest node that the players can click on it and actually read it. So let's see how it works. You go here to quest nodes, click on it, and you will get this quest feather model, which you can place anywhere you like in your 3D scene. So let's put it here next to the sign. Once you've placed it, this pop-up appears and you can add a title, broken sign, and then type in here whatever you want. So to Applethorpe, to Laractus Fort, and to Laractus Sanctuary. Now you can close it, and by clicking on it, it opens again. Also remember that you can treat this feather as an object, so make it smaller, maybe rotate it, etc. Cool. So by this sign, the players can easily figure out that this Laractus Sanctuary is to the east, since they know where the other 2 places are. Plus, they get this small information that Laractus is actually a fort. As my players investigate the sign, I always like to add one demon encounter here, just a single one. The reason is, and you will understand why later on, that I want to show that even totally outnumbered, these demons will attack anyone. You could also let this Kutakta demon charge right away to the remains of the sign instead of the players, and let your players kill it as the demon is trying to destroy the sign. Okay, so I'm gonna add this demon here. I will go to monsters. Where is it? Here it is. I will place it here just in case. I think it's a good idea, but if you don't want to, you can skip this puzzle entirely. And so since we are following my players' choices, my beloved friends decided for some reason to change their course and paid a visit to Laractus Sanctuary. They in fact said that the word sanctuary makes them feel safer for some reason, which is, as you're gonna see, far away from the truth. So in the next episode, we will head to Laractus Sanctuary and find out what the hell is going on there. So that's all I got for today. See you in the next episode. Bye all!